My name is Pooja, I'm 21 years old, and for the last few months, I've been walking around with this dull, throbbing ache inside me that I can't quite name. It's not loud enough to make me scream, but it's always there, just humming beneath everything. You know how you can live with someone, share the same bed, the same life, and somehow feel like you're slowly disappearing? Like you've been replaced with some hollow version of yourself, the one who smiles on command and kisses on cue but doesn't feel much anymore? That's been me. When I married Daniel 8 years ago, he was this whirlwind of confidence and warmth. He made me laugh so hard my stomach hurt, he kissed me like he'd been starving for days. Our little apartment was too small, our furniture was cheap, but our love was loud and reckless and, God, it was alive. He used to touch me in ways that felt like he actually saw me, not just my body but me. I still remember our Saturday mornings. The sunlight spilling through our tiny kitchen window, him sneaking up behind me while I made coffee, arms circling my waist, his lips brushing that spot on my neck that made me melt. We'd eat pancakes straight from the pan, tangled together on the couch, legs draped, fingers linked. The world felt far away, like it was just us. But somewhere along the way, things shifted. It wasn't dramatic, no big fight, no betrayal back then. It was small things. The way his kisses started landing on my cheek instead of my mouth when he came home late. How he stopped reaching for my hand under the table when we ate out. The hugs that used to linger, now they felt like quick reassurances. Like closing a door rather than opening one. I told myself it was normal. That every marriage settles, that the fireworks can't last forever. But the thing about subtle changes is they're easy to ignore until they're not. Like that night 2 months ago. It was raining, and we were watching some movie on the couch. I was curled against him, my head on his chest, the way I used to love. He was warm, solid, his hand resting on my shoulder. Safe. That's what it should have felt like. But it didn't. Because somewhere in the middle of the film, I realized I wasn't listening to his heartbeat the way I used to. I wasn't soaking in his warmth. I was wondering, when was the last time he kissed me like he used to? When was the last time I even wanted him to? And when he absent-mindedly patted my arm, like you'd comfort a kid after a bad dream, something cracked inside me. That tiny gesture, so simple, so impersonal. That was when I knew. I didn't say anything then. I stayed tucked against him, pretending the thunder outside was what made me shiver. But my mind was already racing, already rewriting our history in real time. How long had we been strangers sharing a bed? How long had I been holding on to the ghost of who we used to be? I keep replaying that moment, like if I watch it enough times, I'll find the exact second we went from lovers to roommates. And here's the worst part. I don't know if he felt it too. Because if he did, neither of us said a word. Daniel's a paramedic, the kind of man people trust with their worst moments. I used to admire that about him, how he could walk into chaos and just steady it. But the thing about saving other people all day is, sometimes, when he came home, I think he expected me to be the calm he didn't have to fix. I tried. God, I tried. But lately, it felt like every time he reached for me, it was with his hands first, not his words. He'd slide behind me at the sink, kiss my shoulder, wrap those strong arms around my waist like it was supposed to solve everything. And I wanted to let it. I wanted to lean back into him and feel the way I used to. But instead, I'd tense without meaning to. Because what I really wanted, what I needed, was for him to look me in the eye and ask how I was. Not how my day was, not if I paid the electric bill. Me. But Daniel wasn't good with words like that. So, he touched instead. Like last Tuesday, when he came home smelling of antiseptic and rain. He found me at the table with my laptop, papers scattered everywhere. Hey, babe, he murmured, leaning down to kiss my cheek, his hand brushing my hair back like he was trying to erase whatever stress he saw there. I smiled because that's what you do, right? You smile so it doesn't become a thing. But inside, something twisted. He didn't notice how stiff I was, how my shoulders stayed locked when he rested his hand there. "Long day?" he asked, already moving toward the fridge. "Yeah," I said. It came out flat. He didn't catch it. Later, we ended up on the couch, some crime show humming in the background. Daniel slid closer, his hand tracing circles on my thigh. It should have felt intimate. Instead, it felt heavy. Like he was speaking a language I used to understand but had somehow forgotten. "Missed you," he said against my temple. And I wanted to say it back. I did miss him, in this aching, complicated way. But what came out instead was, "You're home late again." He froze for a second. "Got called in. Accident on the highway." I nodded, eyes on the TV. The silence after that stretched too long, like we were both holding on to opposite ends of a rope, waiting to see who would let go first. This is what kept happening between us. He'd reach for me, and I'd pull back without meaning to. He thought physical closeness meant everything was okay. I needed to talk first, to feel seen before my body could want him again. But I didn't know how to tell him that without sounding cold. Without sounding like I was rejecting him entirely. The next night, we fought about something stupid, dirty dishes, I think. I was at the sink, scrubbing hard enough to chip the plates, when he came up behind me again, arms sliding around my waist. "Leave it," he said softly, lips brushing my hair. "Come sit with me." "I'm busy," I muttered. "Claire." He sighed, like I was being difficult on purpose. "It's just dishes." But it wasn't just dishes. It was that I felt like the maid, the bill payer, the cook, the woman he touched out of habit but didn't talk to anymore. And when he turned me around, hands warm on my shoulders, trying to kiss me into softness, I snapped. "Stop thinking you can fix everything by touching me." The words hung there, sharp and ugly. His hands dropped. He looked at me like I'd just slapped him. "I'm trying here, Claire. What do you want me to do?" I opened my mouth. Nothing came out. Because I didn't know how to explain that I wanted him, but not like this. That I needed him before I needed his hands. And in the silence that followed, I saw it, the way his jaw tightened, the way he stepped back. Like maybe he was the one pulling away now. Like maybe we were losing each other in real time. It got worse after that fight. Not loud worse, just quiet worse. Daniel still tried. I could tell. He started bringing home my favorite coffee, leaving little notes on the fridge like he used to. But every gesture felt like it had a string attached. Like if I smiled, if I softened even a little, it would lead straight to the bedroom whether I was ready or not. One evening, he came home early for once. He found me on the couch, scrolling through emails, hair in a messy bun, oversized sweatshirt swallowing me whole. "Hey, you," he said softly, leaning over the back of the couch to kiss my cheek. His lips lingered a second too long, warm against my skin. "You look cute." I managed a small smile, not looking up from my phone. "Thanks." He rounded the couch, sitting next to me. Close. Closer than I expected. His arm draped around my shoulders, pulling me in. It wasn't rough, not at all, it was tender. But even as I let my head fall against him, my body felt like it was acting out a part one didn't remember auditioning for. "You okay?" he murmured, brushing a strand of hair from my face. "Yeah," I said automatically. He kissed my forehead, then my temple, moving toward my mouth. His lips were soft, familiar. I kissed him back because, wasn't that what I was supposed to do? But inside, my mind was somewhere else entirely, cataloging dishes in the sink, the email I hadn't sent, the rain tapping at the window. And when his hand slipped down to my hip, fingers curling, something in me locked up. I pulled back slightly, forcing a smile. I should probably finish these emails. His brow furrowed, just for a second, before smoothing out. "They can wait, can't they?" I have a lot to do." My voice was too quick, too tight. He sat back, arms dropping to his lap. Right. Sure. The air between us thickened. Later, in the kitchen, he tried again. I was chopping vegetables, the rhythmic clack of the knife filling the silence, when he came up behind me. His palm landed on my backside, playful, like it used to be. I flinched before I could stop myself. He froze. What was that? Nothing, I said, too fast, too defensive. Claire. His voice was low now, careful. Do you even want me to touch you anymore? My throat closed up. Because yes, I wanted him. I wanted the us we used to be. But lately, every kiss felt like the first domino falling, leading to something I wasn't ready for. I'm tired, I mumbled, not looking at him. That's your answer to everything lately, he said, frustration creeping in. I spun around, knife in hand, heart pounding. I can't just flip a switch, Daniel. He stepped back, hands up like I might throw the knife. I'm not asking for a switch. I'm asking for my wife. The words landed hard. I set the knife down, staring at the floor. I didn't know how to tell him that I felt like a body he kept trying to wake up without realizing I needed my heart to wake first. That night, he kissed me in bed, slow and deliberate, waiting for me to meet him halfway. I kissed him back, just enough. Pretending to want it because I wanted to want it. But inside, the words screamed through my head like thunder. Why does everything have to turn into sex? It happened on a Thursday night. Daniel had actually planned something, dinner at that little Italian place downtown. We hadn't been there in ages. I think he thought it would fix things, or at least remind us of when we used to talk about everything over cheap wine and too much bread. I wanted it to work. I wanted to put on a dress, smile, and feel like someone's wife instead of someone's roommate. But the whole evening felt like a play I didn't remember rehearsing. We ordered wine. We talked about work, the neighbor's new dog, the weather. He told a story about his shift, something about a guy who broke his arm trying to jump a fence, and I laughed at the right moments. I was performing happiness, hoping maybe I'd start to feel it for real. Halfway through dinner, he reached across the table and took my hand. His thumb brushed the inside of my wrist, gentle. His eyes searched mine, soft and maybe a little desperate. Claire, he said, voice low so the couple beside us wouldn't hear, I miss you. Something in my chest cracked open. But instead of spilling out love or forgiveness or even tears, what came was anger. Miss me? I snapped, yanking my hand back. What exactly do you miss, Daniel? The part where I pretend I'm fine so you can feel like everything's okay? He froze, fork halfway to his mouth. What are you talking about? I leaned in, voice sharp now. You come home, you kiss me, you touch me, and you think that's love. You think that's enough. But you don't even see me anymore. His eyes flicked around the room, noticing the stares. Claire, lower your voice. No. The words were out before I could stop them. I'm tired of lowering my voice, tired of smiling so you won't notice how lonely I am in this marriage. He set his fork down slowly, carefully, like I was a bomb about to go off. So, what? This is my fault now? I laughed, bitter and shaky. You think kissing me fixes everything, but it doesn't. You touch me because it's easier than talking to me. Do you even know the last time we had a conversation that wasn't about bills or dinner or your job? His jaw tightened. So now it's wrong to want my wife? Want me? My voice broke on the words. You don't want me. You want a warm body who doesn't complain. You want someone who smiles on cue and doesn't ask you to actually show up. The table went silent. Our plates sat untouched, the candles flickering between us like they were mocking the whole scene. He leaned back, arms crossed now. I don't even know what you want from me anymore, Claire. And just like that, the fight drained out of me, leaving only tears. Because the truth was, I didn't know either. I wanted the man who used to look at me like I was the only thing in the room. I wanted the